members who find themselves at risk of redundancy. We have an advice line. We're going to be able to provide financial support to people who find themselves in difficult circumstances through the Benevolent Fund. We're opening up access to information about jobs and careers and providing support through things like CV clinics, because we don't want people to feel that they have to step away from the profession and from CILIP simply because of the circumstances they find themselves in. We're going to be working with the task force in order to support their engagement with English ministers across Whitehall, as well as supporting engagement with ministers across Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. We have, as some of you will know, secured pro bono legal advice from Eric Metcalfe at Monkton Chambers, who's going to be publishing his advice on the 1964 Public Libraries Act on the 18th of November. Now, the discussions there have been really interesting, because I know a lot of the work that you have already done here in this room focuses on consultation, on process. I know a number of you have initiated judicial reviews. We're looking at the law as a national framework, and so we're considering the first clause of the Act, which places a requirement not on Ed Vaizey but on the Secretary of State to maintain and to improve the public library service. And I think it would take some stretch of the imagination to see today as an improvement. We're going to be supporting this lobby. We're going to be supporting the SUFL lobby of Parliament in the early days of next year, engaging directly with parliamentarians and trying to ensure that we are speaking with one voice, with a credible voice, with good evidence, and with a clear and realistic ask. We're going to continue to work with Cathy and her team in the task force to reinforce that evidence, to share ideas, to share knowledge and information. We're going to work much harder to bring together the network of people that are speaking out for libraries, to provide solidarity and support. And then we're going to be working to publish our white paper, which is our statement as CILIP of the public library service that we want and the principles that we believe we need to defend at a national level. So you may argue that's not enough. I would welcome your ideas about how we can do more, but it is at least a start, and it is at least going in the direction of providing the kind of national leadership and support which I think our community deserves. So that campaign gears up from now, goes live on the 25th of November, and will continue on the month to come going into next year. You know, as I know, that we've lost a good deal already. We stand to lose more over the coming months. So I want to be able to look back on this period and see a CILIP that stood in solidarity with you and with our community. I want to see a CILIP that made a genuine and lasting difference to the destiny of our publicly funded libraries. I want to see a CILIP that demonstrated leadership when it was needed most. So I'll conclude there by saying thank you so much for your time and attention already this morning, welcoming you to today's conference and looking ahead to the discussions that we're going to have today. This is an important moment. This is one of the last opportunities to bring our fragmented voices together under a common banner and a common purpose in anticipation of what's going to happen in the coming months. So I hope that you have a good and productive day. I hope that we all use the day well. But for the time being, thank you for your attention. I'll hand you over to Guy. Thank you.
Thank you to Nick. What I want to do now is to talk to you about the workshops, because for the next 2 hours you're going to be in discussion groups talking about 2 extremely important areas. One, which is a very sensitive area on which there will likely to be quite a number of differing views about volunteers. That will be the workshop session lasting about an hour. And then that will be followed, hopefully your workshop leader will give you a small break, but that will be followed talking about the task force and indeed the types of things you want to ask the task force, because we're very fortunate to have, well, Cathy's already here, but we also have Paul Blanton, who's the chair of the task force, who will be discussing with you their work and where they see the future this afternoon. But immediately, I want to talk to you about the arrangements for the workshops. There are 4 workshops, A, B, C, and D. A and B are going to be in this room, A up this end and